you think this is starting to wear on me? You've been raining down like hail. I'm weak. I have tried to give you my soul, but you can't love something you own. It's too late to repair what we made. What can I do? Time flashed by and I woke up on the other side of the...
G'day everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Anna and this is You Got Me in Stitches, and today coming in at you with another makes video. And I have been pretty productive as well this week. I have well and truly got my summy energy back. So I don't know if I'm going to get a bit of a burnout, because I have actually sewn so much, and at the moment my brain just keeps thinking you gotta sew, you gotta sew. I'll let you know what I am wearing. So I have a little lace top on, and it's kind of this view A, from the New Look pattern here, K6438, and I just made a few tweaks to that basic style t-shirt and lowered the neckline into a square neckline and gathered it a little bit, and it's all in this stretch lace, and it was based upon this beautiful top that the wonderful Tanya from Glasshouse Patterns made quite a while ago now. And it's long sleeve. Teenage Earthling will insert a still for you so you can see that I'm also wearing it with a me made skirt. The me made skirt that I am talking about is view C, of course, another New Look pattern, K6579, and yeah, I really like the view there with that little detailing on. Righto, let's start off with the Linden Sweatshirt. This is the first time that I have ever made the Linden, and I know they have been going around the sewing community quite a bit, but definitely first time for me. It's by Green Line Studio. I also made the long sleeve version. Now this sweatshirt actually has quite a bit of ease in it, so the size that I am compared to the comparison of the sizes that they say on the pattern, I actually sized down quite a bit. I'm kind of in between bust sizes anyway, and on here it would have been in between a 6 and an 8, which is kind of 35-36 inch, but because of all the extra ease and everything, I actually made a size 4, which was a 34 bust, and also kept the waist a little bit as is. I smidgely came in, but the hip area I did leave as is. The fabric that I use for this, ever so sorry guys, not entirely sure of the content. This fabric has been sat in my fabric collection for a little bit of a while now. It's quite a thick fabric, and yeah, kind of a mid-weight, and it actually has pattern to it, and it is black, which is quite unusual for me. Really good make to put together. So this is it here. So you can see the pattern there. Obviously the colour is not true. There you go, that's more true. And it's really comfortable. And yeah, like I say, a quick make. Kind of not too bad on the neck band, putting that together. I say that with a little bit of hesitation because I tend not to like wasting fabric, and so sometimes my seam allowances, I don't always have a bunch of seam allowance, and I have it relatively small, and I think that then made the neckline just a little bit bigger than the neck band. Now I know you have to stretch it, and I was a little bit concerned that the neck band itself, if it just been a little bit too small for the circumference of the neckline, if when you stretch it it would create puckers, but thankfully it hasn't. So I'll come in closer and then serged all the way around, and it's been sewed throughout. Again, I'll flip the camera around so you can see better inside and outside. And for a bit of a contrast on the cuff, I stitched a zigzag stitch in a contrast blue, and I did for the edge there on the waistband. The Linden Sweatshirt has raglan sleeve. The neckband there is installed pretty straightforward in serged with the appropriate serging colour threads there, and you can see the pattern really clearly here, coming down to the waistband. So that band goes obviously all the way around, and the little contrast zigzag stitch on the band, and also the cuff of the sleeve inside here for you guys. So although it is serged throughout, I also did a zigzag stitch as well, because this fabric is quite, I don't know, it's quite thick and dense, I guess, but stretchy at the same time. Excuse the little odd kit here on there. I was halfway through constructing this and Tiger decided, oh, that's nice and warm and fluffy, just sit on there, so it is. My next two makes are the Wanted Tea by Vanessa Pouze, and I had the PDF pattern printed out on my behalf. I also traced it out, so I have it here. This is what it looks like. The brown paper is the paper that I used to trace out, and I believe off the top of my head I made a size 48, I think that's what it came in at. The fabric is a navy blue fabric. It is a midweight, and it has come from Sew Jessie, so I'll link her website below for you guys. I'll hold it back for the moment. That is the true colour. As I bring it up closer, it will change because of the light. And yeah, when I was attaching the neckband, unfortunately it just ever so slightly twisted, and although I did my best to press it out on the back there, thankfully it's kind of twisted around the back, it's left a mark there. But to be fair, when you wear it, you don't really notice, because obviously it goes around the contours of your body and neck and shoulders and everything like that, so it's not too bad. And hopefully over time, with going through the laundry and things like that, it may kind of dispense a little bit and kind of disappear. Fingers crossed anyway. I made 3/4 length sleeves, and I think I added just an inch just to the length, so it just felt a little bit more comfortable just to have that little addition of extra fabric. Zigzag stitched and serged throughout, and you'll be proud of me because I changed my serger threads. Yeah, with these makes, guys, I tell you, I've been changing my serger threads backwards forwards, so yeah. Along the bottom there, did a zigzag stitch across the hem, but again, with all these makes, I'm going to show you the close-ups and inside as well as outside. So yeah, so that is the first Wanted Tea. Here we have the Wanted Tea, and the front there. Construction was okay because I've made this top before, not too tricky. I think once you start doing things a few times, it then becomes a little easier. And these don't show as bad when it's worn, so I'm pretty happy with that. Unfortunately, there is one little pucker there. Unfortunately, I may go in and fix that. And like I said, 3/4 length sleeves there, and then I zigzagged the hem there. Yeah, so coming a little bit closer, it's all serged there, The points look really good there, don't they? It's funny, isn't it? Just the way it goes. And on the cuff, all I did was stitch the raw edges, flip it over, and then do that zigzag stitch. So that would be the outside, so it looks a bit more pleasing to the eye. And it is exactly the same as what I did to the hem. Stitched the hem, flipped it over, and then used that zigzag stitch. And I think that looks okay. Moving on to the second one. This fabric was purchased in Prague, not from me. I didn't go to Prague. There's a little bird up there. It's so cute. Anyway, you guys have seen this in one of my fabric cards, and yeah, so the fabric had come from Prague, and it is beautiful stretch jersey. It is so super soft and comfortable to wear. And with birdies in the garden, I think this is rather apt, having birdies on the wanted tee. Now, I pretty much did that minoring really good that side, but unfortunately on this side not so good. And yep, serged throughout with the appropriate colour serging thread. I really like this colour of fabric. It's kind of a mix of a peach coral, and of course has these little birds on, which makes adds a little bit of extra fun, I guess. The only thing is, look, my neckband, yeah, they're upside down there, but they're okay there. They're just going downhill, or a mountain. So exactly, I did the same on this as what I did on the navy blue one. So 3/4 sleeves, did the zigzag stitch on both the arm cuff and for the hem. Here's the inside, and again, those minor corners, they just seem neater on the inside. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Really happy how they have both come out, and great to wear for comfort because of the stretch jersey. I have also made another McCall's dress. Another one of these, M6891, and it's view A. And I kind of had a little bit of a play around with the sizing, so it kind of goes in and out a little bit of 10 and 12. Not much ease in this pedant. Obviously I've talked about this with last week's video with the cotton pineapple fabric that I got from So Hailey Jane. But this fabric you guys have seen in one of the fabric hauls, but this was thrifted fabric, and this fabric was a drape with those big grommet eyelets, or whatever you like to call them. So here it is. It is so super soft. I also had to line this dress. Reason being is because the outer fabric was so thin. I guess with the drape, I would say it's had a lot of wear, this fabric, and if you look really closely you can kind of see that. But yeah, and also I used the same lining that the drape actually came with. When I laid the fabric out, I was hoping that I could kind of then cut all the pieces that I need to with it kind of attached to the drape as it was, but no. And I needed a little bit of extra fabric where the hem and the side seams and everything, so I had to get the quick unpick seam ripper, if you like, out and pick away at all those stitches just to get a little bit of extra fabric, even though I actually folded the pedant piece on the skirt in just a little bit, just to do a bit of fabric tetrising with the pedant pieces that I had. And eventually I definitely got all the pieces on the fabric and cut out. How I did it, I just don't know. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. The length is a little bit shorter than the pineapple one, but it's okay. And I did a little bit different with the closures at the front there. You'll see that on closer inspection in a few moments. Unfortunately, there are places on the collar that leave a lot to be desired, unfortunately. So coming in, you can clearly see that is not as clean or as accurate as it could have been or should. I have pressed it, but no. Along the arm side, I used bias binding, stitched it in the regular way, flipped it over so it was on the inside. I do need to press that so that it lays a little bit more flat. It has bust darts there and also waist darts. And for the closures, I used these hook and bars. Now I've never installed hooks and bars on the, I don't know, is it like a ribbon, a strip of fabric, and had to get my head around that a little bit, because when you install them into the seam, this part wasn't too tricky at all, because that would go inside the seam there, and the sewing machine is quite happy to avoid the hooks there, which I successfully did. And the other side, however, where the bars are, not so easy. So the fabric gets sandwiched in between both of the side seam stroke raw edges, because this is the collar piece, remember, and it's the placket that goes all the way down. Then I folded that over and then stitched along the seam edge there to hold it. And then also, because the machine cannot go over these hooks, I had to hand stitch the whole entire length of that placket area. I have left a little split there, which I did on the other one as well, and thankfully I had enough hook and bars, but there was no way I was going to stitch on those hook and bars individually. No, 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 no. I like my fingers. I like to sew. They would have been so raw, and also being ambidextrous I could swap hands, but no, I just did not want to stitch those on individually. And also, because that has a little bit of an overlap here, obviously it hides it just in case if there was any pulling or anything like that, and thankfully there's not. So yeah, so I was really pleased the eventual kind of finagling getting those on. Never actually stitched those, I was kind of making up as I was going along, but pretty successful. And then coming down to the hem, you can see the lining, so I just used the lining, and then I used this minty green bias binding all around the circumference. Show you the back before I turn it inside out. You can see both the waist darts in the back there, and then flows down to that skirt. Just stood the collar up so then you can see the placket and everything like that. And yeah, like I said, it runs the length of the dress. I've left the hook and bars open so then you can see how they are on the interior. And then I serged that. What I should have actually did was fold the lining under, and then none of the raw edges would have been seen. But again, no one's perfect, so a little bit of an error there on my part. And then the only other thing was I just did not have enough fabric for the length of the placket, so I just used this 100% cotton, and that's only on the inside, not the outside, which was lucky. You can see there the fast binding and then the serging of the lining. You can see how worn and thin and delicate this is. My next two makes are from the Tilly Warren's book, Make It Simple, and it is the sapphire pants. For those that have made these, you know they're relatively straightforward and simple to construct and put together. And I have made two pairs in different lengths. Now, the first pair I'll show you are full length down to my ankles. And just quickly, I have actually installed a clothing label. Yes, so these come from Kylie in the machine. And I thought, because they kind of look similar, I can tell the difference between the back and the front, partly because of the lump of the elastic in the channel there, and also the way the pockets are and things like that. This particular label came out of the mixed packet, which I have here, and didn't realise that I actually bought it out, because I'm so organised. I'm too organised, and sometimes I think, did I? Yeah, it just slipped underneath the pile of stuff. These are the labels here, so that's the mould eye pick. And I thought, yeah, why not? Definitely want to give those a go. I tend not to keep labels in my clothes. I actually cut them out because of the irritation, but that's mainly behind the neck area. Just, yeah, no. But in here, and because they are really super soft and the way I have stitched it down, it won't irritate. I've already worn these out, so I know they don't irritate. The elastic I used was 3/4 inch. I have some left over here, black, and again, really easy installation as long as you don't twist it, which I didn't. The fabric that I used, I almost said these two fabrics, they're identical fabrics, it's two separate makes. Beautiful linen viscose, purchased from none other than Sew Jessie. I think I kind of like Sew Jessie's fabrics. Thank you, Sophia, if you're watching. Absolutely lovely fabric, beautiful drape, really soft to the body. And sometimes with linen, at least for me, sometimes I can find a little bit itchy on the skin, but no, these are really super comfortable, which comfort is all that we're about for the most part. Now, because I already had traced this pattern out of the sapphire pants, at the time I did not trace out the pockets, so I used the pockets from the dress that I just showed you and installed them in here with the fabric that I used for the lining of that dress as well, which is here. And they have been serged, haven't forgotten this time. I didn't forget last time, it was just, I thought I did. I knew I was going to do it, the brain knew I was going to do it, and then didn't, if you know what I mean. You know those days, guys. Yeah, so they're okay, and because the lining of that drape is so thin, they're so lightweight, but I don't know, they don't hang as good as perhaps they should. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, does it? I'll show you the other pants, pretty much identical. And this is the second pair, and you're thinking, well, what's the difference? Well, there isn't actually, except for the length. I do definitely have two. I did kind of think, do they look like pyjamas? I don't know. They could be used as pyjamas, but they are for slumping days, I guess, slumber days, or just really warm days where you want to wear cool. Ow, I've just been bitten by something. Yeah, on the warmer days you want to wear something cool. So yeah, when I first made these, I was deliberating whether to make full length to the ankle or cropped length, and I thought once I'd worn the full length, I kind of kept feeling like I wanted a cropped length, hence why I've made two. And the reason why I've made them in the same fabric is, like I just said, the fabric is so super soft and really easy to sew with and everything like that. But I'm telling you what guys, the shorter pair, for a very simple, easy, quick make, this has been an absolute nightmare. The pockets inside I have constructed correctly, and I used a thicker 100% cotton fabric that's in my collection. Yeah, I don't know, just silly little things that just didn't kind of sit right. And also this fabric, I eked these pants out of, I think it was 80 centimeters of fabric. So you lay it down and fold it to the middle, and then just put the leg piece, and I just shaved a little bit of the padded legs because these are really wide pants. It is a good thing that these are wide, then you have more maneuverability if you want to tweak the leg, and that's what I did. I just shaved. Now when I mean shaved, I just folded in my traced out pattern all along the length of the leg, and then obviously on the cropped version I worked out where I wanted the crop length to fall on my leg, and yeah, I'll go from there really. And also the good thing about it was barely no fabric went to waste. I mean, it never goes to waste anyway. I keep it in my leftovers box. But yeah, so you imagine the shape of the leg, all I need to do was just cut around the crotch and up to the waist area, and that was it. Because how I laid those pattern pieces with the fabric length that I had, that's all I needed to cut. Amazing, right? And also on the longer length ones, it was just a little bit extra along the ankle, probably an inch or so. And again, that was all the fabric that was left over from cutting both these pairs out. Now I did purchase the fabric separately, so I think it was 1 yard 10 for the longer length, and then like I say, it was 80 centimeters. I say 80 centimeters because I'd already calculated that. I'm actually an inches scale and not a centimeter scale, but yeah, so 80 centimeters. And the elastic that I used for the cropped version, wide elastic, and this is an inch width in this. And unfortunately in the cropped version the elastic did twist, and I didn't know until I'd finished zigzagging the channel up, and I put them on, didn't think of anything, took them off. Just I took them off just where I'd placed my fingers, I thought, seems a bit bumpy, and then I discovered that yeah, they're twisted. So I had to just take out a couple of those channel stitches, obviously pull the elastic, give it a snip, because I did not want to take all the stitches out of the original raw ends together, and just again just reattach the two edges. And yeah, not too much of a seam allowance on that, otherwise the more you pull, the bigger the seam allowance, it'd be even tighter. But we're only talking about quarter inch, something like that, maybe a smidge more. So yeah, that's that. Starting with the longer sapphire pants in this lovely linen, and yeah, I just really like that blue colourway. And like I said, they are lovely and drapey, wide legged, and there is the pocket there, both sides. There's me, it's in there, there it is. So I'll flip them inside out. There's my little label there. Yeah, not much to say about these. Good make, quick make. I serged throughout, and down on the hem here I double folded these and then ran a regular stitch line, and thankfully on the outside, if I just flip that over, from a distance, further away you go, the less you actually see the stitching line. And I noticed with this fabric it does hide a lot of the stitches, so it's really good. And then the channel for the elastic. Now what I have done here is put the insides of the cropped pants, because like I said, they're pretty much identical, and just set them on top of one another. And these pockets are far better than the pockets in the longer length pants. 100% cotton, all serged there, also in these, all serged throughout. And you can see that I have just laid those on top. You can see how much shorter they are to the longer length ones, and I've not put a label in this one. I might do, I don't know. See how I feel. Alright guys, that is it for my makes this week. I hope you have enjoyed seeing what you saw today. And just a quick reminder guys, not too long before the giveaway runs out. Remember, it is midnight UK GMT time, and then there will be a Monday video which will have the winners announced through that. And obviously Teenage Earthling and I will film the process of putting the names in a bowl and pulling them out, and you'll be able to see all that through the video. So yeah, just to remind you guys, midnight on Sunday, okay? And if any of you guys want to change your mind in joining in the giveaway, please put, just like I say, the first word, giveaway, just so when I scroll my eyes down the comments, it's just easier to see, and then I can add them all up in this video, or go back to the giveaway video and edit in there. I don't mind. I will be checking today's video and also checking week and a half ago video. Yeah, so it's almost giveaway time every day through the month of August, so really exciting. And yeah, okay guys, so that is it for this week. I hope that you liked seeing what I had made, and you know, like I said, a little bit productive there, so we get days and times like that. Let me know in the comments below if you go through a little bit of that. But at the moment I just feel like I just want to sew, I want to sew, I want to sew. Yeah, but I've still got a ton of other stuff to do in between everything else, but you know how it goes. Okay guys, if you'd like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have not already subscribed, please feel free to hit that red subscribe button. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys on the giveaway on Monday for that announcement. Okay, have a wonderful week guys, and take care and happy sewing, and thank you so much for stopping by.